today. We're going to talk about maximizing contract performance. I'm Mike Badome, the lead actuary at Arcadia, and I'm here with Dominic.
Hi, Dominic Lopez here from Ochsner Health.
So today we're going to talk about a new product that Arcadia has launched and developed over the past 9 months that is supposed to optimize your contract performance within value-based care contracts, a really important concept for businesses to be mindful of, and a tool that we feel like is going to help everyone understand where they are in the performance year, as well as forecasting and projecting outer performance years as well. The features within Contract IQ that are worth thinking about here today for folks that are involved in value-based care contracting are collaborating with decision makers across the business. We know that when you take on a value-based care contract, a lot of the underwriting, the pricing, and the forecasting is shared across teams, both from an operational lens and a financial lens. We are building a product that is intended to make that collaboration seamless and optimized for shared decision-making and, quite frankly, organization of a myriad of contracts that you take on in value-based care. We also are adding an opportunity for customers who license Contract IQ to conduct what-if analyses. Similar to an actuarial function that you support or you get consulting from, we want to have the ability to simulate changes in certain parameters in your contracts, whether it be membership, risk score, trending, revenue, you name it, simulating it live so you can share the results of those simulations with your business. We find that that's really important because during a performance year, it's really hard to understand what are the range of potential outcomes within value-based care contracting. And this tool is purpose-built to identify the core measures that will impact downstream savings. So this is our organized landing page for Contract IQ. Again, it's really intended to make sure that your open value-based care contracts are in one location for your business to share so that your operational leaders can come in and understand how you're performing, whether it be on quality, whether it be on Part A, Part B, membership, attribution, you name it. The intent is to be shareable across the enterprise. We like this landing page for Contract IQ, again, because it makes it seamless to pop into a live contract and understand across the open contracts where you're performing during a given year. Now, once you have access to Contract IQ, not only is it organizing your open contracts, but we have templates that are going to fit the business's needs. We know not all value-based care contracts are the same. They come in different shapes and sizes. We have commercial templates. We have Medicare Advantage templates. We have MSSP, ACO REACH templates readily available for customers because we know contracts can vary in breadth, in depth, in measures. It's important for us to give you the ability to document the uniqueness of your engaged contracts with this tool. And we find that our templates are designed to start, and ultimately you make the right choices to add and remove features that exist in the contracts today. Once you load a contract in Contract IQ, I alluded to this earlier, we wanted customers to have the ability to conduct analyses on core financial measures. So using the example here on the screen, we have a Medicare Advantage template that's loaded into Contract IQ. We want to give users the ability to evaluate changes in risk scores, which we know impact the revenue, your top line revenue within these programs. And so you can conduct sensitivity analysis on changing your risk score, which would impact your revenue and hence your shared savings. We can do this by adding, we can do this by multiplying percentages. The tool is intended to be very nimble and demonstrate how each variable within the calculation can impact overall value for a given contract. It's really important for customers to be able to sensitivity test all the features within a contract. Again, as I alluded to, during the course of a given calendar year, there are going to be swings in claims expense, attribution, and risk scoring. So showing that in a live tool is really important so finance and ops can get together and think about how maybe during the year, if performance is deteriorating, how they can course correct and identify areas to improve scoring.
Thanks, Mike. It's really appreciate you having me here. Appreciate being here on behalf of Ochsner Health and all of our regions and health systems. So one of the main things that we're really looking forward to with the Contract IQ tool is having all of our settlements in one place. That's a really great place to start. Being able to model those outcomes will be tremendously powerful so that we can, make strategic decisions throughout the year. Having your actuarial support will, really bring us over the top for, setting those accruals, keeping on top of IBNR, keeping on top of, the various things that we need to do on the risk adjustment side. Course correcting contracts is something that, doesn't come easly. It's something that we've been trying to, figure out how to get in front of these contracts over years. And so this tool is going to get us out of the Excel world, and it's going to get us into, a web-based tool that we can take into the markets and work with our regional leaders and each one of those clinic managers so that they understand, how their revenue is really being generated in a value-based world.
Thanks, Dominic. Can you speak a little bit about how this tool, when you're given the knowledge, can help your business? So you lead a finance area, but how do you support operations when you see data that's demonstrating maybe a loss more than you expected? What's the next step to course correct? And how do you continue to think about measuring that in Contract IQ and maybe outside of Contract IQ?
Yeah, so we look forward to using the model simulation tool to work with the regions to show them where they stand in their actuals as of right now. And then in that point in time, looking at the forecast that you and your team are going to put out there, help them to see where those contracts could go into the future with each of those model simulation cuts that we'll be able to save in the web interface tool. That's going to be really powerful, not just to show them what their actuals are, but then to say on top of that, these are the things that we can logically layer on to think about where your contract is going to end at the end of this performance year, whenever that strike point is for that contract settlement.
Gotcha. One other thing that came up as we were speaking earlier is the ability to look at contract performance at a little bit more of a granular level. So Contract IQ is going to address how you're performing as a whole. You mentioned the importance of looking at your team's surplus and deficit by maybe TIN or practice. How many TINs and practices do you look at today in terms of performance across your business?
Hundreds
of TINs. And today you'll take a Medicare Advantage contract and simulate it down to all of those 100 TINs.
Well, the good news is that a lot of those TINs roll up, but we have to be able to break it back down. So that's where the granularity and the drill-in capability that we'll see in future iterations help out. That'll help us out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So to close the story here with Contract IQ, purpose-built product with forecasting embedded in the tool. There's risk components, there's IBNR components. We're going to create a forecasting view like we showed on the last slide that demonstrates how you're performing not only during the year-to-date claims experience, but also the outer months so that you can get a full calendar year's view of experience.